Hi, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video, and this is a paid request for Carson. Thank you so much for that. For those interested, requesting any type of videos, whether it be a topic, a review, or re-review, thought streams, commentaries, video game playthrough for an hour, full playthrough, commentary, reaction, random streams, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. I do have a Cash App as well. Links are down below in the info box. I'll get to as soon as I possibly can. And this is for The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. Now, some say it's 2024, but really it came out 2025. I don't know if it was in one festival or something, but I'm putting it 2025 because it was this year it came out and it did nothing. It did absolutely nothing. This film completely bombed. It had a $15 million budget. It made $8 million in the US, a total of $11 million worldwide. And I gotta say, this has one of the most poorest marketing campaigns that I've seen in a while. Because not many people knew this film was even out. Not many people knew this movie was even a thing. And I think the trailer sold this film extremely poorly. Does I remember when I saw the trailer, it looked like the jokes were just trying to be Ren and Stimpy, edgy. Well, I mean, I like Ren and Stimpy, but like trying to be edgier than the usual Looney Tunes movie or Looney Tunes cartoon, and trying to be a bit more modern. And I just don't think it sold the movie as well as it should have. At least the trailer I saw. Maybe there were other trailers that sold the film better, but the one I saw, it didn't sell it well at all. And it's a shame because I thought this was really good. If you like the Looney Tunes, if you like those characters, which is Daffy Duck and Porky Pig, this was really good. I mean, honestly, so far, this is the best film I've seen this year for me so far. Now, granted, I haven't seen a lot of 2025 films. I've seen what? Alarm with Sylvester Stallone. I've seen... Or was it Armor? Was it Armor or was it Alarm? That was 2025. I can't fucking remember now. Armor or Alarm? One or the other. There was Captain America, Brave New World. There was Snow White. Companion, I didn't mind. Love Hurts, I didn't mind. Yeah, I would say this one so far is the one I liked the most. Because I thought this one... It was nice to see 2D animation done again in a big feature-length movie fashion, because it's so used to the 3D stuff. So that was nice to see. I thought it definitely had a good heart on its shoulder. It really did exemplify a friendship between Daffy Duck and Porky Pig. You could tell that they care for each other, they love each other. And I thought it was rather sweet at times. I thought for the most part it handled the modern stuff well. And did feel kind of a nice ode to Looney Tunes of yesteryear. I actually liked the fact that they didn't put so many cameos in the film. So it would be like, hey, you remember this person? You remember this person? You remember this person? And that's not really the case. I mean, you don't see Taz, or not the wrestler, but I mean Tasmanian Devil. You don't see Bugs Bunny. You don't see... It's really Porky Pig, Daffy Duck, and then Petunia, which was in a couple cartoons as the love interest to the Porky Pig. Yeah, March 14th, 2025 is when this came out. So yeah, it was in LA in December 2024, but for everyone to see it was 2020. So I'm saying it's 2025, March 14th. And yeah, this film did not do well at all. It shit the bed, Sally. And I'm seeing what beat it in the box office. Just curious. It was number 5. Who were the first 4? Mickey 17, Novocaine, Black Bag, and Captain America Brave New World. What the fuck is Black Bag? I don't even know what it is. Some intelligence agent bullshit. Well, anyway. Get into the film itself. I liked that the opening of the film is telling its own story of Porky and Daffy Duck when they were kids. They were found as kids. They're raised by this guy called Farmer Jim. And what's funny is when you see Farmer Jim, he does look like something out of Ren and Stimpy, whereas that type of, not realistic, but it's like different type of look animation compared with the 2D. And so each time I saw Farmer Jim, I couldn't help but laugh. And he raises them, so you see the two as babies. You see how Porky Pig got his stutter. You see them playful as kids. Daffy sticks up for Porky Pig because this bully's picking on Porky, so Daffy's able to get the bullies just desserts. You see them as their friendship grow as brothers, as a family. Farmer Jim goes away, which is heartfelt. You feel their sadness. And they're now grown up. Their goal is to keep this house, because that was Farmer Jim's last request, is stay together. As long as you're together, you can accomplish anything and stay here at this home. So they try to fix their home. Someone comes by. There's a hole in your roof. If you don't fix it within a week or so, I forget how, was it a week? I forget how long, but if you don't fix it a certain amount of time, it's going to be condemned. They don't want to condemn, so they try to get jobs. You have this montage of them trying to get jobs, which definitely feels very Looney Tunes style. I'll give more details when I give the spoilers, but it does have this Looney Tunes feel, which is nice. And as much as I like Space Jam for its novelty, the soundtrack, liking my basketball, I can admit this is a better movie than that. Again, I like Space Jam, I like the novelty of it, but this is a better movie. It's better for the characters. It has a bit more interesting story. You really feel the heart of the friendship of the characters. There's some moments I thought were quite funny. There's some nice little bit of action moments. And again, it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's like 90 minutes long. I like that the gist of the plot was like a B-movie sci-fi plot, which is an alien invasion dealing with this gum that's mass-produced, and if you take the gum, you become a zombie. So Daffy, Porky, and Petunia Pig have to figure out how to stop and fix all this and figure out what to do next. And again, without giving out spoilers, well, I'll say this. The voices for Porky and Daffy's voices were well done. They went back for Daffy more to how he was back in the day. There's a big section of time where Daffy seemed like more of a prick, more selfish. That's not the Daffy in this. The Daffy in this is much more caring. He means more, like he means to do better than he does. He really does care for Porky. He cares for his best interest. And again, I think of like Space Jam, that kind of Daffy Duck, where he's much jealous of Bugs Bunny, and the one that Joe Dante did, which I'm not a fan of that movie, that Looney Tunes film. Back in action. where he's jealous of Bugs Bunny and he's about me, 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 me. This is not that at all. Again, this is trying to be more of Daffy from back in the day, which I like. And he does that kind of crazed loony whoop, 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 that type of whooping at times, which is how he was back in the day in the Looney Tunes. So that was nice. There are times you get to see Porky Pig a bit more angry, a bit more standing on his own 2 feet. So he's not always the shy, scaredy type. He is at times, but there are times he's much more assertive. So they did more with these characters. They make them more... They do a bit more... I don't want to say relatable, but less one-dimensional. And I cared for them, and I liked their friendship, and I liked their brotherhood. To feel that they care and they love for each other, and that was nice. There's a nice heart to it. Some of the music choices were cool to hear. Bryan Adams, I Do It For You. From Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves makes an appearance. I did not expect that, but that was funny to see. R.E.M., It's the End of the World as We Know It. And that's done during a kind of a fun action sequence, which was nice to see. And they play most of the song, which was nice. Because usually it's hard to hear a little bit of the song. No, they play an extensive amount of the song. I thought the animation looked really good. Like I said, it was nice to see more 2D animation again. But obviously, sadly, this is... It's going to tell the audience, going to tell the studios, don't do more of that because it's going to lose money. I know Coyote vs. Acme is now going to be released. I think 2026. I don't know how it's going to do, though. I look forward to it. I hope it's as good as this. I hope it's as good as that Rescue Rangers movie I saw, which I thought was underrated and fun. Why can't that get a physical release? But I don't know how it will do. I mean, I don't know if people are just not into Looney Tunes anymore, or at least not enough to see at the theater. Which is a shame, because from what I understand, Lilo and Stitch, there's talks that don't make like $100 million opening weekend. And that's... We kind of have to blame ourselves at a point for why films suck nowadays. We kind of do. Myself included. But I'm a hypocrite, so I did say that and still bitch about it. We say we want more original films. We say we want more original filmmaking. More breath of fresh air. But then, this is a fun, at times clever, at times heartfelt movie, and it completely fucking bombs. Now, granted, I will also point out, to repeat, this is piss poorly marketed. I think, like me, I didn't even know this film came out. I didn't know this film was out. You didn't see any marketing from it. I think I saw a trailer like last year or something. And it wasn't that well made of a trailer. I'm like, what? And because the studio's done so much shit, so I will blame them as well. Fuck it. They produce so much dog shit that we're cynical. And we are right to be cynical. We have an understandable asset in our brains to be cynical, because when you took chances for 10 movies and 9 of them suck, you can't really blame people being cynical, be like, I don't know about this. But then, I'm just saying, you have a film like this bombs, but then Lilo and Stitch, which is another Disney remake, is going to make, what, $100 million a weekend? Perhaps? Studios are on a roll. Let's make more Lilo and Stitches remakes and less this movie. And that's going to continue the suckage of Hollywood. But I mean, we can't be blameless all the time. I'm not going to put all the blame on us, but you know, it is what it is. I don't know what else to say on that front. I do wish it was better marketed. I do wish it was better put out there. But anyway, I'm going to get more into spoilers to help with the review. But this was a pleasant surprise. I did like this. So yeah, I liked seeing their childhood. I like that we got to hear Porky not stuttering. Daffy made a mistake, made a vase, hit Porky on the head, and then he stuttered. And you see Daffy's like, they're trying to like, it doesn't exist, like. So it's like, thanks, Daffy, good job. You see them being playful, sliding on banisters. Again, at school, Daffy sees that Porky's being picked on by a bully, so Daffy decides to drop an egg on him to show him what's up, to defend his buddy. This is one bit that I wish they went further on, but this one bit where they're like rebellious teenagers, and Porky's like, can I just go to my room? He's got like a hoodie on, and Daffy has like a piercing from his duckbill to like a collar. It's like the collar. It's like he stole the collar from Matthew Lillard from Senseless, or something. But he doesn't talk. It's just that look that did make me laugh. I will say that did make me chuckle. Now all the jokes don't work, and this is probably some of the stuff that was in the marketing that made me go, oh, I don't want to see this. There's a bit where they're trying to fix their home for the home inspector, and hey, Porky goes, no cracks in the sidewalk. And then it's revealed, and Daffy's butt crack is showing. Daffy, I said no cracks. Sorry. Like, those jokes, I think, when you put that in the marketing, and you think that's what the movie's all going to be about, then it's like, oh, I don't know if I want to see this. So I wish that, those type of jokes were not in there, because that had enough decent to good ones. You didn't need stupid shit like that. But they gotta fix the roof before they're condemned. I like the jobs that they did. A paperboy, where Daffy has a machine gun to shoot out the papers. Of course, they get fired. They worked at a Starbucks type of place, and the woman gives the most descriptive coffee ever. And you see Porky and Daffy be more and more confused, and Daffy go, we serve coffee. What are you trying to pull? And they get fired. They try to be influencers, so Daffy bounces his butt, but then they get canceled. And they explode. Eventually they get a job at a gum factory. That's where Porky meets Petunia. He falls for her. Daffy finds out the gum is turning people into zombies. Tries to warn Porky. Porky goes, you're just being paranoid. Porky's going to try this gum. Daffy stops them. They find Petunia. Daffy begs, please test his gum out. They do. I do like the way they do with the gum. I like the idea that when the gum's chewed, it creates an eyeball. So there's fun POVs where you see from inside the mouth and the eyeballs looking at Daffy. I like when the monster is get bigger and tries to attack Daffy, Porky, and Petunia. It's a little bit like the Blob, the Thing, where it can kind of create whatever it wants to. Like create an eye here or a mouth here. Pretty much after they escape, they get the idea of we could use this rotten egg gas to make people puke, which makes or spit, which makes the alien on the ton spit out, and then one can use the flamethrower. Porky feels Daffy will get in the way, so Porky and Petunia are going to do it. And that's where you get an action scene, which was fun. Porky gassing everybody while Petunia's shooting with the flamethrower, wiping out a lot of the dumb aliens to it's the end of the world as we know it. I thought that was a fun scene, a lot of energy in that. There's this one flashback scene where that Porky has, and you have everything I do it for you from Robin Hood. I thought that was funny. I didn't expect to hear that song in this, but I like that song, and that takes me back. Man, that made things nostalgic, because I remember that song being everywhere at that time. Daffy wants to help, but still breaks the weapons. They get chased. Petunia gets abducted. Eventually, Daffy and Porky get abducted. They say bad things to each other. Then they apologize. They try. They try so much that their tears overflow and it takes out the laser cage they're in. The bad guy, the bad alien, is trying to pop this. He has all these people, zombies, blow this bubble that goes all over the Earth. So in order to save the Earth, Daffy, Porky, Petunia pop it, but here's the twist. The alien was not trying to destroy the Earth. The alien was trying to save the Earth because there's an asteroid coming. I guess the bubble is going to bounce the asteroid back. So now they have to figure out what to do. So they implement a plan that's pretty much Armageddon. Go in, dig in, put something there, blow it up from the inside. And they go up there. Like I said, they get their moments to shine. Porky gets the idea of how to do it. It doesn't work, so then Daffy is able to go in and make it work. So they have the moments to shine. Porky came with the idea. Daffy, you take this hammer, you do what you do best. He goes all loony. The stalactites come down to this area. It creates this friction with the gum. This other set of gum that with enough friction will explode. They escape. Daffy gets stuck. Porky's like, I'm not going to leave you. As long as we're together, we'll be alright. Very nice, touching scene. Thought the voice actors did a good job. Very heartfelt. It blows up, but they survive because it's a Looney Tunes cartoon. And then everything works out well. Their house is gone, but they have the picture, Farmer Jim. He talks to them, I guess like from heaven or whatever. I'm glad you kept that picture. Look in it. They look in it. It's a will. They have a life insurance policy or home insurance policy for $5 million. How do you know? Well, I knew ever since you guys were babies, something would happen to be very loony. I like when he says, Farmer Jim out, peace. I don't know, just the way he said that did make me laugh. And then they have a nice home. They even have a white tiger. Everything's fine and dandy. Porky's with Petunia. It's a nice end. Some fun, clever jokes. Animation's well done. Pacing's pretty fast and consistent. It wasn't as many edgy, whatever, type of jokes that the first trailer I saw made me think it was going to be. It's not a nitpick. One thing, I would like to have seen Daffy use the flamethrower at one point, because Daffy with a flamethrower, like, against the aliens, I think that would have been, the gum things, I think that would have been cool to see somehow, if you worked that in. But, overall, I thought this was fun. I thought this was a fun movie, done in with very, very poor marketing. And again, sadly, this will show the studios that, well, I guess they don't want a new story. I guess we're going to keep doing remakes and sequels and... And, this cost $15 million, so they didn't lose a ton of money. But Coyote vs. Acme, that did not cost $15. That cost a lot more. Even for what the one studio paid for it, whatever studio that was. So I don't know if that movie's going to be a hit. I have a feeling it's not. Because if it seemed... I mean, why... Even Space Jam 2? How much did Space Jam 2 make? It should have not even made $1. Well, LeBron... I don't give a fuck about... Fuck LeBron James. He's an idiot. And that's a movie that's shit. I know it flopped, but still... It still made $70 million in the U.S. 163... That's still too much goddamn money. Imagine if this film made $50 million or $40 million in the U.S. That would have been nice. But as shitty as Space Jam 2 looked, and that made $70 million, although that probably had a lot more marketing. And even then, it didn't do well, and that's a flop. But still. And that was during the pandemic as well. So the fact, I mean, that's fucking sad. Well, you're not going to see any Looney Tunes stuff for a long while. Other than Coyote vs. Acme technically was done before this, so. But, yeah, I don't see them doing anything with this. So we're just a fucking shame, man. Just a fucking shame. But what can you do? With that said, thanks for watching. I would say if you haven't seen this and you like Looney Tunes, it's worth a look. Like I said, this is underrated. This deserved a better fate. So, nice pleasant surprise. And it bombed. Of course it did. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.